Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to this other edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime TV. This evening, we're going to be having a very in-depth discussion with one of Cameroon's leading female activists and politicians, in the person of Barrister Michèle Ndoki, who has become a household name when we talk about political as well as human rights activism in Cameroon. She now heads a movement called Le Barrister du Cameroon. She's been away from the media space for some time after she left the Cameroon Renaissance movement. To note that she has served as a corporate legal practitioner for some big companies, multinationals in Cameroon, and since 2023 she has been working to strengthen the civil society through Le Barrister de la Nation, a movement that she's going to be telling us as we discuss with her on tonight's edition of Prime. We're glad to have you once again on Prime Hour, Barrister Michèle Ndoki.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's been a while, I agree, and it's a pleasure to be able to be part of yours tonight and to be able to have this opportunity to talk about the ethical renaissance of our great and beautiful nation.
Le Barrister, I'll start with Le Barrister de la Nation. That is a movement that you are leading. It just started some months back.
Yes.
I would want to start by asking you why you saw the need for the creation of this movement.
We were four of us,
okay,
and we decided to create that movement. The four of us are Mr. Kingsley Shete, Ms. Nathalie Yakam, Mr. Joseph Esama, and myself. And we launched this organization in September 2024 because we are convinced that what is missing in the political arena is a strong civil society. You know, people talk a lot about political parties. When it comes to politics, when you think politics, you think political parties, elections, etc. But politics is really way more than that. Politics is a responsibility. It's the responsibility to guide and to shape the destiny of many. So it's not something that is done by a few people. An element that is key is you need electors, citizens, the people who have entrusted their power with a few minority to exercise the power to control, exercise the power to demand when change is needed, when improvement is needed. So we are convinced that this is what Cameroon needs in order to make sure that the change we're craving for comes about. So it is really about gathering Cameroonians, a mass movement, and being able, through this movement, to influence the policies and the political actions of the power that be.
Yeah, you say this is trying to educate Cameroonians on how to monitor, follow up, and try to control government action. But the people have also given their powers to the MPs, who are supposed to control government action. And is it the fact that the MPs themselves are not doing that role?
We do believe that the MPs' involvement in the political life of our country could be, strengthened.
Okay.
That said, we don't believe it will be fair to say it relies only on them to control the action, because they are there to propose a structure through the laws that they will be voting They are there to propose a structure, just like a board of directors will be there to propose a framework and control that this framework, this direction, this vision that they've come up with is duly followed by the government and checking that this is what they do. But parliamentarians themselves need to be checked.
Yes.
Every single power needs a counter power to get the community to the balance that is needed to make sure that things are going smoothly for the whole community, not just for a few minority. So I do believe, and we do believe, and as co-founders of the Nations Builders, the Bâtisseurs de la Nation, that this power to control, to make sure that the average Cameroonian's aspiration, preoccupation, worries, dreams are taken into account on a daily basis in all the decisions that not only parliamentarians but also civil city councillors and of course the executive of the nation are taking is key. It is key to make sure that we do have this channel to make the people's will known on a daily basis, not only during election time.
Okay, Nation Builders, les bâtisseurs, you want to train the civil society, the population, to be able to check every elected official, be the municipal councillors, the mayors, the senators, and almost everybody, and the president, the ministers. But now, we have civil society members who have been existing in Cameroon for over 40 years. We know some of them. Are they failing in that, or is it the fact that they are not interested in political education all these years?
I don't believe that the right way to approach those things is to put things against the or people against one another. You know, politics is not a war. As I said earlier, it's a responsibility. Okay. So when you have civil society organizations doing something, say they're working on gender-based violence, or some are working on strengthening democracy, or some are working for defense of environment protection or defense of human rights. Doesn't mean that once they exist, nothing else should be created. They are taking their responsibilities. There's still room for not improvement, but there's still room for other forms of collective expression, and that is the avenue that we took. We said there's one thing that we believe is still missing in that spectrum, and that is a civil society organization that will be like what Y'en a marre is in Senegal, or the Ballet Citoyen is in Burkina Faso, or Ça Suffit is in Congo, or Momentum is in UK. You know, in the UK you have the Labour Party, and you have an associated civil society movement that is called Momentum. That is a movement that believes that the Labour Party's policy is the best for the country. However, the members of this Momentum movement are not automatically members of the Labour Party. That is to tell you, and whilst the party will have few thousands of militants, this mass movement counted at some point, I think, more than 40,000 members. You need this kind of vehicle to get the people who are running for a seat, or you know, in members of a government, to understand what the average citizen is looking for. And the fact that you already have civil society organization on the ground does not prevent you from creating that one. I doubt you will find today in Cameroon, a civil society organization that has more than 40,000 members. This is the ambition of the nations builders. Once we get to that point, and we are starting with gathering 10,000 people who observe the coming presidential elections in the polling stations and report on their observation. First of all, is the process going according to the law? Secondly, what does the count at the end of the day reveal? So this is the first step. And once we have shown to the world as Cameroonians that together, 10,000 people, we can achieve a common goal, we represent a force to be reckoned with. This is what Cameroon needs in order to change the way politics is being made in this country.
You left party politics some months back. Was it last year? And,
I was expelled from CRM in 2023. So
2023?
this is now 2 years.
Okay, you left CRM, or you were expelled. May we know the reasons? Do you understand why you were expelled from the CRM?
And this is taking me so long way back. I guess it's more a question for the CRM people. You know, as human beings, we all come to pass at some point. Whether we stay for some time in a political party or whether we stay for some time alive. What is important is that the nation wins. The nation moves forward. That we build a legacy, and that Cameroon as a whole moves in the right direction. So it's not really what I'm concerned with today. What as an individual is happening, has happened. I think my focus today is really on what we've been talking about so far. What is it that we're building as a people for Cameroon?
You left party politicking and you are into civil society.
Yes.
Today you have observed the way politics has been going on in Cameroon for the past 2-3 years. Almost everybody has been talking about the need for party unity, opposition party unity. Are you very, very comfortable with the way things are operating on the ground today?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. And it's a good question because it raises the issue of the kind of unity we're talking about. It is a common perception, and I do have that perception as a person, that unity is not the word you use to define Cameroonians nowadays. And yes, we really are craving for feeling part of one united country again. That's a given. Now, when we call for the unity in opposition, question is, are we calling for the unity of the political parties, or of the visions, of the programs, or the ambitions for Cameroon? Or are we calling for some of the leaders of the various political parties to come and support one of them? Because, as I said earlier, I think what matters is not so much who is holding which position at a point in time. What matters is how are we doing as a country from an economic point of view, from a human rights standpoint, from an education standpoint, from a health care system point of view. And when you think about that, you realize this is not about one person, not at all. It's not about one election. It is about the system that together we are building. So to us, it's even more important to think about what kind of city council we're voting. What is the group, what is the program behind which Cameroonians are rallying? What is the kind of vision that our parliamentarians have when it comes to deciding the kind of laws they will fight for in the parliament. This is what should be occupying our minds. This is what should be our topics for conversation, because this is what matters. Whether this one or the other one are the candidates for one election in particular, not so much in the end. How many of us can say who was fourth during the last presidential elections? And even those who came the three first, what was their respective the scores? Nobody, because in the end it doesn't matter. But we can all talk about the economic situation of our country during the past 7 years, and that is what matters to us. And in 20 years' time, we will still be able to talk about that. So let's focus on what really matters. What is the role that we are playing as Cameroonians, each and every one of us, in shaping the destiny of this country? If I am a political actor, if I am a civil society organization leader, if I am an activist, if I am a teacher, if I am simply a voter, what kind of role am I playing to make sure that the whole community is served with political system that is efficient and effective? That is the kind of conversation that should be going on.
Yes,
ongoing.
What is fundamentally wrong with Cameroon? If you say you want politicians, MPs, senators, and almost everybody, civil society, to work to fix this nation, what is wrong with the nation?
I would dare to say the one thing that is wrong is that we spend a lot of time expecting others to do something or not to do something, and we don't spend enough time thinking about what we could do. I had this conversation this morning. Let me give you an example. I had this conversation this morning, long conversation with a young journalist that I often spend some time talking with, and we were talking about, again, everything that is happening in the political arena these days. He's a young dreamer. He has really strong ambition for this country. He doesn't want to leave the country. He wants to stay here, prosper here, build a family here. And he's sad to see that things are not going in the right direction, and really anxious to understand what can be done for that to change. And he was saying, see, this one is now saying that they're resigning and nothing will come out of it. This other one started this conversation about this provision of the law we are not interested in. And those ones are now asking for money to be able to support this candidacy or this other candidacy. Everything is just a mess. And I asked him, okay, once you said that, what happened? What's next? And he said, yes, you know, we, the youth, we've been so disappointed with the political leaders during the past few years. They keep making promises that they don't fulfill, and we don't know who to trust anymore. And I said, okay, then what? You keep whining and crying about something. Does that change anything? It changes nothing. Instead of asking yourself why those people are so disappointing, if you think they are, you should be asking yourself, what is it that you want to do about it? And it so happens that this young man was in Senegal during the past presidential election. He spent few months there to cover the event. And he came back so inspired by the example of Pastef and what people have been doing on the ground, how they got ready for this team to take control of the executive of the nation when the time came. And I said, this is something that you can use, you can leverage on, you can provide information, study how they managed to convince the broader population, the voters, that this is the program, this is the vision, this is the organization that we should rally behind. That's a very good example. In Senegal, Ousmane Sonko and Diomaye Faye did not win because every other political party in the opposition rallied behind him. Not at all. You did have competition. Diomaye Faye won because majority of the electors voted for him. So this is the difference that you, as a young Cameroonian hungry for change, could work on. How do you convince people to rally behind one program, one vision, if you see that political leaders themselves are not rallying with that? After all, we are the electors. We are the one making the choice. If the majority of us have decided this is the person, no matter how many competitors that person has, this is the person that is going to win. So ask yourself as a journalist, what is your preferred program? What is it that you want to see change in this Cameroon? And where do you see answers to your question? Where do you see your aspiration, your dreams coming through, at least through a program? Then, as a journalist, you can start telling people about what you've discovered about this political leader that you've studied, or the various political leaders that you've studied. And you can start saying, this is the one I believe in. And you will influence people, and you will push all the competitors maybe to start improving their proposition and try and do better. You don't know. But what I'm trying to say through that example is, this is the kind of thing that you can do.
CPDM, I want to run for elections. Are you following up? Does it really matter today to Cameroonians? The fact that these two persons
said, certainly does matter for them. Certainly something that we can draw lessons from. Their experience, after all, they have lengthy experience of this system, this regime, and their ability to achieve what will come to pass. We should focus on what we want for our country, not on few people. Let us be clear what is to expect from the next. Then we make a call and we follow through that call. And as nation builders, we make sure that once our compatriots have expressed their will by casting their vote, we know exactly in all the polling stations what they've decided, and we are able this time around to communicate about what Cameroonians decided on a documented basis, not just guesses.
Okay, if you're watching the program and you have a question for Barrister Michèle Ndoki, put them through and I'll ask her in the course of the program. Also, give your name and where you're writing from for those who are asking questions to Barrister Michèle Ndoki. Now, the nation builders, the bâtisseurs, what actions have you engaged in since creation to achieve what you're talking about here?
We started by making sure that we do have representatives or coordinators on in every region, every single region in the country. So we do have today representatives, regional coordinators in all the regions. Up until last week or 2 weeks ago, we did not have a representative in the South region, and we are happy to announce that we do have a representative. So if you are from the South region, you can now reach out to the Nations Builders. We do have a Facebook page. We do have a website that you can look up on Google, lesbâtisseurs-cm.com. And how do you say tiret in English?
Tiret, what is tiret?
Tiret is this
hyphen. Okay.
lesbâtisseurs-cm.com.
Okay.
You can look it up on Google, and
You take a picture and send it.
through these channels, you can reach out to our organization and enroll as a future observer, a volunteers to participate in this great initiative. Then from the regional coordinators, we started going around, as you know probably. I was personally in the northern part of the country, spent 1.5 months in far north and Adamawa regions, going not only into the cities but into some remote areas, going to talk to Cameroonians, engage them, explain to them what this project is about, how it is important that they participate and that they own. So it's not about us recruiting, people to serve our organization. It is about partnering. Most of our observers are members of partnering organization. Our ambition is to make sure that when the day comes, that we can announce what our observations have revealed when it comes to the choice of Cameroonians. We can announce a broad name of civil society organization that participated in the whole country. So we do have a few hundreds of people that are members, including in the Northwest and Southwest, and I want to thank you for that. I know that particularly in those regions, it's a big challenge because of the security situation, and I want to tell you guys that we do have you in our minds and in our prayers. We know these are trying times. It is important, however, that we seize the opportunity of October 2025 to change the person that is going to be in charge, because that will give us as Cameroonians a chance to have a government that is really willing to negotiate, to envisage another way of solving this crisis, if we call it that way, other than through the military approach.
Okay. You have been working with persons, especially in the north.
Yes.
What is the impression you had as far as Futa Party is concerned? Many young Cameroonians are really not interested. Is it just what we feel out here, or it is the reality? Are people really mobilized to be part of these elections?
I do believe they are really mobilized.
Okay.
I do really believe they are really mobilized. I do believe the perception is coming from the fact that we don't talk to one another enough.
Okay.
We don't travel a lot, and for understandable reasons, and we don't talk enough with one another as Cameroonians. So this to me was really an eye-opener. And I must say that I met with people who were thrilled to see that Cameroonians from the southern part of the country could come that far to have a conversation about the destiny of this country. To remind them and to remind all of us that this is actually a country, our country, and that we can shape the destiny of that country together.
Okay.
I met with hundreds of Cameroonians that are really obsessed with shaping the destiny of the country, the situation of this country, that are really keen to do something about the situation, that are sometimes maybe a bit anxious to know how they can help the situation. And so we're really enthusiasts about joining this initiative.
Okay.
So I think our biggest challenge, I'm happy, it's at the same time a relief and a frustration. I think our biggest challenge is to make sure that the majority of Cameroonians hear about this initiative that is gathering 10,000 volunteers to observe the election, the presidential election next year. And
this year?
Yes, this year. It's October 2025. I said next year because this year is a phase, and we also have in mind the coming municipal and parliamentarian election. But yes, the 10,000 volunteers that we are looking for to observe the election in October, it's really something that people welcomed as an initiative, and we want to do our very best to make sure that the majority of Cameroonians in the remotest areas of the country know about this project, know that from where they are, they can contribute to that ambitious objective.
Okay. If you're watching the program and you think that you want to join what she is doing in putting together 10,000 observers for the next elections, you can write to me after now so that I will send you her number. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and courage to the barrister Michèle Ndoki. I am Chemboni. I'm watching from Bamenda. My question to barrister is that would her institution eventually be converted to a political party so that we could vote for her? I'm not sure.
That's nice. That's so nice. The political career of Michèle Ndoki is really distinct from the destiny of the nation's builders. As I said from the onset, we need to have a strong civil society organization, a strong popular mass movement. So if at some point I think I, as a person, wants to pursue a political career as an elected person, then I will remove myself from the organization and join a political party. But the ambition of the civil society organization called Nations Builders, or Les Bâtisseurs de la Nation, is to be and remain a civil society organization, because we need that channel for Cameroonians to express their will. And we're very proud that in that organization, you find people from various political parties, various political inclination, if I may say, who are together and find it a good thing, because whether we are from this party or from this region or for this religion or the other, we have common issues, common ambition. And what counts for the nation builders is to make sure that those common preoccupations are addressed. So it needs to remain that. We need to remain neutral, impartial, especially when it comes to the presidential election round the corner, because one of the lessons from 2018 is that we never actually got to the bottom of the story, got to know the truth about what Cameroonians decided. And we want to correct that this time around. For that, to defend the truth and only the truth, we need to remain neutral and impartial. So no, Nation Builders is not supposed to become at some point a political party. As for me, this is not a question for this year. Once we've achieved what we're trying to achieve right now, and I'm really confident that with your help we will be able to do that. Okay. It will be time for me to think about what's next.
Tani Emmanuel, Cameroonians are good at articulating and not executing. Okay. Menti the Menti says, watching live from Lapo Village, Ambele subdivision.
Wow.
Okay. Sue Shesi says, please ask her if she is single. She's not single. Emmanuel Akwandu says, the fun thing is that we all know the reality on ground, but political elites are making us believe that we can make omelets without breaking eggs. Mbofung Javins Voyui says, this is exactly what I have been saying. I even shared a detailed WhatsApp message with this same proposal to Mr. Kum Leonard early January this year. That is shared what you are talking about here
fantastic.
Now. Yes. You say
so reach out and please join the Nation Builders, and we can make your suggestion a project that came to life.
No, the youth. Are you very happy with their political involvement, as well as the women? Or now they do more of accusing, complaining, and not getting into the whole show?
There's one thing that I heard my big brother Joshua Osi saying not so long ago, and it really captures for me the truth in such a vivid way. He said, you can all hear the big loud noise of a big tree falling in the forest. You can never hear the noise of the thousands of trees that are growing. That are growing at the same time.
Yeah.
Then once you've heard that, you ask yourself, what is the most important and impactful thing that is happening in that forest? Is it that single tree that fell down, or the thousands that are growing? So I don't believe that the people that are allowed on social media or elsewhere represent the majority, and represent the opinion of the youth as the vast majority of Cameroonian population. As I said, outside of the social media, outside of the media, when you talk on a one-to-one basis, or you are in a group of young people who feel free or who feel in a safe environment and can share with you their deeper thoughts, you see people that are involved. They are really committed. They are not there crying. They are saying to you, I want to make a difference. I want to do something. This is what I'm trying in my neighborhood. I convinced all of my siblings to get a voter's card. I am reading keenly the programs of the various political leaders and parties to see which one is best for our community. I am encouraging or following up my uncle who wants to get involved in politics. I met with these young Cameroonians in the far north who is getting ready to run for parliament next year. And people are saying to him, around him, are you going to do that if your father is still running for CPDM? And he said, I'm sorry, I'm going to. They think because it's my father and we are Fulbe, so we all disrespect, I will not run against him. I will. This is our time. So what I see in Cameroon is very encouraging. That is actually what gives me the strength to carry on. Even with all the bumps and hurdles on the road.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm interested in Barrister Michèle Ndoki's vision, and I wish to be part. Obeni Reagan is watching from Bambili. Should I share a number with him?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please, by all means.
I will send you Barrister's number so that you can get to her. Now, you want young people to get involved. Mm-hmm. Do we also see as many women, like the youth, getting involved?
We see a lot of women. You know, women are not just waiting. The time where women were waiting for men or for other people to give them a seat at the table is long gone. Now they are dressing that table. They are preparing, arranging that table, and getting it ready with everything they want before they can sit at the table. And yes, we see a lot of people. We see a lot of women. What I am here to voice out for them is, however, that what triggers the need for women to change, to get involved, is not a role that they are pursuing, or a responsibility that they will be entrusted in. It is the difference that they will make. You remember the takumbeng. You would find it very difficult to quote the name of one or two takumbengs. But when you say takumbeng, at least in some part of this country, you know exactly what you're talking about, and you can still remember and relate to the impact that they've had in the community. This is what women are about. They are about making a difference. My observation is that sometimes, let me repeat it, it takes time, and it takes a process. And it takes you getting involved in things that might feel annoying or unnecessary at some point. But sometimes it's the only way. You have to go through these annoying things in order to really effect change. We see women volunteering to become nation builders, and we encourage them to continue to do so, because on top of everything, they tend to be so much more trustworthy, don't we? So yes, please come. We're waiting for us, and you can make a difference.
How much are you engaging the political parties themselves? Are you comfortable with their level of mass education that is selling their society project? Because you want people to understand what respective political parties are presenting to them, so that they can make informed choices to vote the best. Are you engaging the political parties themselves?
I'm having regular conversations with all the political leaders.
Okay.
If you look for it in the social media, you will see that, for instance, I had a podcast with Joshua Ushti not so long ago. I had a conversation with Mr. Cabral Libi not so long ago. I think we exchanged messages 2 or 3 days ago about something that we would like to do, an X space that we want to organize for him to present to fellow Cameroonians his program and his vision for Cameroon and why we should trust him. So yes, we do engage and with the various political parties. There's this candidate, that is called Jacques Bouga Hakbe. He had a conversation, a presentation for our organization to tell us about his vision for Cameroon and why he thinks he could make a difference. The other day I was with people from MP3 in Douala. There was this meeting about bringing civil society organizations together that are working on the same thing or similar things like as ours, that is monitoring the electoral process during the election and monitoring the counting especially. So yes, talking with political parties, talking with syndicates, talking with religious leaders is part of what we do to engage people and to make sure that we reach out to the maximum numbers of Cameroonians and make sure that this project is a success. Yes.
What is the best way of getting the change that you are advocating for? Done in Cameroon, some feel that it should not be through elections, others feel that almost everybody has to mobilize and go for elections.
Yes.
Some people do not believe in the ballot box in Cameroon.
Yes.
How do you get How do you get everybody to be on the same page?
I would say again and again, focus less on what others are doing. Focus more on what we are doing. You are doing, how you're owning your own bit of the thing. You know, because I truly believe that's how we got to where we are. Worrying so much about people out there. You know, they are enemies, they are cowards, they are corrupt people, they are traitors. And in the meantime, you're not doing. You're so worried that you do nothing.
Yeah, but you should show the way. You are bringing Cameroonians.
Yeah,
you are the light. Yeah,
of course, and that is the reason. Thank you for that, and that is the reason I'm here. I'm here saying, you know what? Politics is not a war, it's a responsibility I'm taking my own responsibilities. My own responsibility is to contribute to building a strong, the most powerful civil society organization in this country. This is my beat, this is what I'm doing. And thank Lord, and thank you guys, it's working. We are gaining ground, we are increasing our impact. Now, are there people there who don't believe in change? Are there people there who are not as good? Are there people I will not be proud to call my friends out there? Certainly. Do they matter? No. What matters is what we want to do for this country. And you know what? The majority of us want good for this country. So let's focus on this majority and forget about the few minor disappointment.
Okay, the minority who may say that they don't want elections. You want elections.
Yes, they may say that, and they have a right to say what they want to say. Question is, what do you want? It's not so much what you don't want. What do you want us to do with what you don't want? What you are against? What you criticize? We have a country to build. At the end of the day, we have a country to build. This is the only country that we have. This is our wealth. This is our beginning. This is our end. Our end. God chose this place for us. It is our duty to make it the best place in the world. We're doing that, or nobody else will do it for us. So yes, sorry for those who don't believe in things, but we don't know what they believe in. We believe in something. We've seen it working elsewhere. We've seen it working before, even in this country. Let's try that first, because, you know, people who say they don't believe in it, I've never tried anything else. If what they believe in, they believe somebody else should do this, should do it for them, and they don't know really where to go. So we can't follow them.
Good evening to you guys. I would like to be part of Michèle Ndoki's group. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I think Barrister is making a point, but how can Cameroonians feel the impact of her good ideas in this upside down country? Tanto Edward is writing from Douala. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I appreciate the salient and savvy program going on. I would like to get connected to Barrister Michèle Ndoki. You say I should share your number with them. Yes, some persons are worried about the impact of what you are doing, which they describe as very wonderful, but it doesn't matter. You just have to keep going. Since you guys are the nation builders, are you also talking about this so much hate that we feel and see and listen to on social media, the division, the growing division, tensions, insult and counter insult, tribalism and regionalism. Are you talking with the people to look away from that?
Yes, I am when it's necessary, but I am so happy to say that it's not always necessary. And I think I can talk about that with authority because, as I said to you, I've spent the past few months traveling around the country. Spent 2 weeks in the far north, 2 weeks in the north, 10 days in Adamawa, and after that I went to the west region. Everywhere I felt like home. People will greet me in the street. People will talk to me. People will want to join the initiative. I told you, majority, the biggest number of nation builders that we have are coming from far north. I'm not from far north. Okay, none of the co-founders of this organization is from the far north. This is where we get the most enthusiasts, observers, volunteers. They are not militants, they are volunteers. So that makes me believe tribalism is not really in the normal day-to-day interactions in our country. You know, it's something that you see in some social media and political conversation. And again, those are the loudest, doesn't mean they are the most, they are the majority. The majority is silent, and it's not a bad thing. We know it's the majority. Just allow the loud to be loud. It doesn't, we should not be afraid of that. I think what will be destroying for this country the most is if we start being afraid of that, because we will start being afraid of one another. That is where the problem is. Let's continue to love one another as we know how to do and as we do every day, everywhere in this country, and we will be fine.
Okay, everything will be fine. So many messages are coming in. Some are questioning. Greetings to you, Mr. Leo, and your guest. Enjoying the discussion with Barrister and would like to join her movement.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Alfred Tamufo is writing from Bauer. What does it take to be part of the nation's builder? You call yourselves a le bâtisseur. Objective is to, can you come back to the objective?
Yes. So first of all, you need to hold the voter's card. Very important, because first project that we're focusing on is rallying 10,000 volunteers throughout the country. We want to have them from a representative sample of polling station in the country. We do have more or less 30,000 polling stations in the country as it is today, official numbers. We need representative sample of polling station, and we set our target to 10,000 with observers to tell us what is happening. It's going to be across the country. No part of the country will be left. So the 374 constituencies in the country will have observers. So if you are from a region in Cameroon, please reach out. You will have a local regional coordinator to reach out to, which will coordinate with you, engaging more volunteers in your region, being trained as to what you're supposed to do as an observer. That is, observing the process during the first part of the day. Does the polling station open in time? Do you have all the how do you call it, the ballots, and are you free to cast your vote without undue influence or without threats? First part of the observation, you report on it to a coordinating team through a number that will be indicated to you. At the end of the day, you are observing also the counting and reporting on the result that must, according to the law, be published in the polling station in immediately after the polling station is closed at 6. So the counting is done there and nowhere else, and the results are published there and nowhere else. So you report on that. This coordinating team should be able, through compiling the result coming from all over the country, to announce the result either later in the night or very early the following morning.
What inspired the need for this? Is it this daily talk about stolen elections without a real fact?
Yes, partly. I would say bitter memory from 2018.
Okay.
We were able to show the world that the results that were published were not the true reflection of Cameroonians' will, but we were not able to show the true reflection of Cameroonians' will. Because the organization that was supposed to do that published results that were not, to us, up to the average standards, and were not sufficient proof of what happened truly in the polling station. Plus, we had several testimonies from several polling stations in all over the place, and especially in remote areas, saying that things did not go according to the law. So this time around, we want to document what we will observe. We want to own that process as voters. We want to be able to say, we think this is the true reflection of what Cameroonians decided, who they want as their leaders as their leader for the coming 7 years, based on facts and facts only.
Okay. And so if you're watching the program, instead of sitting every day and say, okay, elections are stolen through hearsay, Barrister Michèle Ndoki is giving you an opportunity to join in her cause so that you can be part of it and be part of the observing the voting process, the counting, and the declaration at the respective polling stations. But have you already had, or are you going to get authorization for almost everybody who is going? How close are you working with Elekam on this?
So we have not requested an authorization because we don't need one.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. According to the law, the electoral code itself, counting in particular is done in the presence of the voters that are still there at the end of the day. So, provided you are a voter, you have a right guaranteed by the law to be there to observe the counting. Then, the code further states that the results are published at that time in the polling station. So by just repeating what Elekam has stated in the polling station, you're not infringing the law, you're not violating the law. And we don't need authorization to compile those results, because this is simply making additions of what volunteers in the whole country legally and lawfully observed. So we are not requiring or requesting authorization because we don't need one, and we believe that this initiative will be welcome everywhere and by everyone, because we believe everyone must stand for the truth. And for as long as what we are going after is the truth and the true reflection of the will of Cameroonians, we should be working hand in hand with any organization.
Okay. 10,000. Would 10,000 be enough to observe?
Yes, we do, because it's you choose based on inferential statistics rule. You know, if, for instance, you are saying you want to know which proportion of Cameroonians are women, What is you don't count all the women in Cameroon, right?
You get a sample
you get
size,
a sample, yes. So it's exactly the same method. It's a scientific method. It's exactly the same method that is used there, and 10,000 is more than enough, yes, to get a representative sample. What matters is that you have the list of all the polling stations in the country, and it's been a challenge, but we are getting there. We're getting there. Also, we are calling on you guys. If you have a mean and a way to get the list of all the polling stations in your region, please, by all means, reach out to us and share that with us. I think today or yesterday, Elekam published a communique saying that the electoral list is finally available. So it should not be a problem for us to get the list of all the polling stations. Once you have that list, you can pick randomly. You can pick randomly some polling station to get an observer, and the observer is somebody who votes in that polling station. So you are not deployed outside of where you're supposed to vote, which at the same time ensures what you're doing is safe, because you don't have to declare yourself as an observer for the nation builders. You just have to exercise your legal right to be there and observe the process from where you are as a voter.
Okay. And this process is going to not only going to happen for the presidential elections. You're moving to next year.
Yes, the ambition is, once we've done that, this time we will have a structured organization that will follow this through and continue the process during the coming elections few months after.
Okay, let me take one or two questions here coming to you.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm following up the program. This is very important for the upcoming elections. I would like to join this movement. We need a free and fair election, and we must participate in it. I'm in Bauer. Please, Barrister, where can I meet the coordinator in Bauer? I'm going to send you her number so that you get to... She's going to link you up to the person in charge.
I will. Yes, there's one person in charge in Bauer, and I will gladly give you the number. Don't worry.
Okay, and the possibility for you to come back to politics, it's going to be after you've achieved what you set out.
Yes, after we've achieved this. Yes, I think this is important. I'm not closing any door, and all the options are on the table. What is important for me is to serve this nation and to see that we're moving in the right direction. I'm so happy and so humbled when I see people congratulating me, encouraging me for what we've been doing for 13 years now and counting. And yes, I continue to do so. I am truly convinced that for the time being, using the bit that I've learned from the past 10 plus years to build this strong civil society organization is key, is where I can be useful the most. Then once that is done, and we have and we do have, I can already meet and discuss with them. We do have young Cameroonians that are really inspiring and committed, and I'm sure will make this organization even 10 times more than what I dreamt of.
Okay.
Then I will be ready to think about something else.
I'm Kingsley Wogai, watching from Tarikon. I love your ideas, Barrister. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. I'm Zambe from Bauer. I would like to join Madame Ndoki's movement. For those who want to join, I'll simply send you her number. This one says, good evening to you guys. I want to be part of this. I want to ask, who are the sponsors of this movement? I'm Emmanuel, writing from Bauer. I'll be glad to have her contact?
Okay, great. It's a good question. Thank you for that, Mr. Emmanuel. We don't have sponsors. We are doing it on our own, and we are doing it with our own means. And yes, it's becoming a challenge. We're very, very proud of what we've achieved so far. As I told you, we have few hundreds of volunteers in all the regions of Cameroon. We've been able to go to today 5 regions, visit 5 regions out of the 10. We intend to go to the other regions. I want to go to Southwest, Northwest, Southeast, and Center. Getting the fund and the resources to pay for the transport and accommodation has sometimes is a challenge, but we've achieved this much already.
Are you looking for sponsors? Have you applied?
We are looking. We've applied a lot. So the challenge with applying. You have 2 sorts of challenge. First of all, you need to be quite an old organization, more than 3 years old organization, before you can apply for a grant. And secondly, the way these things work is you need to start looking for funding at least 2 years before the election. And we've been working on that project for 18 months roughly before we launched it in September. And we needed that time to get our people to trust in the process, to get our first volunteers, etc. So by the time we were happy with what we've had achieved and we were needing more money, we started looking for we started looking for donors. It was a bit late. That's one. Secondly, don't forget that there's this crackdown on civil society organization by the minister in charge of territorial administration, who wrote to all the international partners and traditional funders for civil society organizations, saying that as per the law, association in particular should not be receiving grants. They should only work based on what they receive from their members. So as a consequence, a lot of association and civil society organization had to stop basically working, and this also is affecting us. But we count on, spontaneous gestures and contributions from fellow Cameroonians, maybe volunteers who will join the initiative. And as I said, we're confident we will get there.
Yeah, but did the Minister of Territorial Administration not simply ask for transparency, wanting to know how the monies that came in are used? He said he wanted periodically for reports to be submitted. It
depends which organization he's talking about. And this is sometimes a problem in this country. We believe because somebody is a minister, he has the right to everything and anything. If you are an NGO, non-governmental organization, and you have been granted a sort of license from the government to run a non-government, so this is a special status. This status that is given to you by the state comes with, yes, a right to scrutinize your activities. We have freedom of association in this country. What does that mean, freedom? It means that you should be free to do whatever is authorized by the law. It means that you should be free from control from somebody who wants to know what you're doing. this is, in essence, removing every substance to the freedom of association concept.
Okay.
Now, just one quick word, since you raised that issue. When the minister says associations are supposed to work only, they are not supposed to receive donation. Question now becomes, are they receiving donation? Because if they are providing a service, delivering a project on behalf of, say, the American government had decided to fight HIV, spread of HIV in a country, they resort to one association to run a series of activity in that field. That association will invoice back the cost of implementing that project from the government. It's not a donation. You understand? So when the government, the minister says now it is forbidden for the American government to provide that money because this association is not supposed to receive donation. He's not saying what the law provides.
Okay, I don't know whether he actually asked that they should not.
I'm telling you, I'm not asking.
Okay.
Yes, he said he went further than that. He issued a list of organization.
Yes, 5
published
of them.
it. No, not 5 of them. No. That's not what I'm talking about, Mr. Kum. I'm talking about it was maybe close to 100 of association NGOs issued that list and sent it to all the diplomatic representation and all the funders to say those are the ones who are authorized to receive funding. Other than that, it is forbidden for you to fund any activities as associative activities in this country. Okay,
good evening, Mr. Leo and panelists. Barrister Michèle Ndoki. Democracy in Cameroon is still in the hands of elites, leading to tribalistic democracy. What are you doing to take it down to the grassroots? Derek, watching from Bamenda.
Interesting, challenging question. I believe what we are doing as nations builders is really aiming at tackling exactly that. This is us bringing politics down to the average Cameroonians, because politics is about making a call, making sure, finding a process that is efficient to make sure that your preoccupation, your aspirations are taken into account into shaping the policies of the country. So the way the nation builders are designed is to conquer the power from the grassroots. And that is the reason why the coming local elections are so important to us. We are training Cameroonians to first of all design their own aspiration, and then making sure that these aspirations are reflected in the programs of those who want to be elected, and then make sure that those they've chosen are the ones that win the election. Then monitor the action of those people and be ready to sanction if they are not delivering on their promises. I hope that answers your question.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Liu and Madam Barrister, who is a coordinator in TICO. Please, can you just get to Barrister after this? I'm sure she's going to send you.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, write to Barrister after this, and she's going to send you.
Yes, yes. So I will be counting on you to tell them how to write to me. You have 2 ways. Either Mr. Kum will give you my WhatsApp number, or you can find me on Facebook, my Facebook page, Michèle S. M. Ndoki, and I will be glad to give you an answer to that question. Thank you for your interest, really.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Fred from Bamenda. It's Michèle. How many divisions and subdivisions have they covered so far? Do they understand that politics is a game of the grassroots? I will be happy to welcome them in Bamenda. Just write to her. I'm sure they are working. She just indicated a few minutes ago that she'll be coming to Bamenda and then moving down to the southwest region. It's very difficult to achieve what you are gunning for? You used the example of Senegal, you used the example of Burkina Faso and a host of others. Yes, but do you factor in the peculiarities of the Cameroonian society, where people feel more attached to their region, though you're trying to deny that? People feel more attached to their regions and, I don't know, follow the elite, like somebody just indicated.
I guess at the end of the day, it's just a matter of trying as far as and as much as we can, and see how it goes. I am sure there are challenges, but I think it's not a reason for us to be discouraged. We should try. We have to try. We have to try again and try harder until we get there.
You have to keep trying until you get there. You were evoking you talked about the minister recently, but you have been moving to, you were in the far north, Adamawa, and you are moving around. How close are you working with the authorities? Have you sold this project to them? Are they aware of what you're doing?
I think they are, not necessarily because I have I've tried to sell it to them. I remember visiting in particular the governor of the Adamawa region to tell them that I was in his town and that I was there for this initiative that he saluted as a patriotic endeavor. So I believe, yes, they know, and the main reason they know is this is something that has been public for quite some time. I told you the first press conference was on the 3rd of September 2024. So yes, I don't. I think what we've seen so far from the authorities is nothing but, to say the least, silent encouragement. No obstacle, concern expressed by the authorities, which we take as a form of bliss or blessing for what we're trying to do.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Greetings to Barrister. I love her move, and I would love to be part, but I have a worry. As she has rightly said, majority of Cameroonians, especially the youth, are for the change of power. But mobilization is the problem. What can the youth do to come together? Kum Bim Peter is writing from Amenda.
What can they do? I would say simply start and see how it goes. I would challenge you to start by trying to gather 2 people around you, just 2 in the whole of Bamenda. That should be doable, and then you take it from there. I remember when I started this initiative 18 months ago. We were 4. Then 1 of us disappeared. Then we were 6, and 2 of us disappeared. Then we were 3 for some time. And as I said, today we are more than 300. So the most important thing is to try and start somewhere. If what we are trying to do is good, people will see the good, and the rest is a matter of time, really.
Okay. Good evening. Abubakar Jibril from Bamenda. I'm interested to join her program. Good evening to you, Abubakar. This other person is writing from Bamenda. Is asking what is the backup of what you're doing. Do you have any extra backup, or is just Barrister Michèle, Ndoki, and the 4 others who started the move?
I would not say we are just 4 of us.
No, I mean, who started at the beginning?
Yes. So if the question is, do we have a hidden sponsor or somebody pulling the strings behind? No, we don't. This is really Kingsley Shete, Nathalie Yakam, Joseph Esama, and myself. And as I said, Other Cameroonians join along the way. Maria Ayuk, Simplici Nale, Gala Maimo, I can, off my head like that, Muhammadu Buba. I can't obviously give the 300 names, but Mahamat Abuka, there are so many, and I'm so grateful to them. But no, this is just us Cameroonians. Some Cameroonians saying, okay, let's try something. Let's stop whining and crying about what is going wrong, and let's start being the change we want to see around us. And yes, that's it.
Okay, so there is nobody behind this move.
Nobody that will be somebody we want to hide. No.
Okay, you've gotten it. Good evening,
no
Mr.
political party, a foreign government, or I don't know what else. No, this is purely. And you guys, you have to start believing in us, because this is actually believing in yourself, right?
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kum Leonard, and to you all in the studio. Not forgetting Barrister Michèle Ndoki. It has come to my notice that all Cameroonians are seriously preparing for the upcoming elections, and it will be obligatory in the nearest future for all Cameroonians to cast their vote after they attain the age of majority according to the constitution of the land. Not forgetting the number one state man, the chief of the armed forces, His Excellency President Paul Biya. Okay, he's greeting the president of the republic. I hope he's gotten your greetings.
Yeah, but to that point, I think, yes, it is worth mentioning that actually nations builders are not the only organization, and I mentioned that earlier, that we were partnering with some other organization. You have somebody like X Zafran, who is a rapper, who has come up with a similar project. We are working together. When we launched this initiative, we were doing that with OTS, On a trop souffert, the Teachers Association. So a lot of people, he's right, a lot of people are coming together. First of all, each in their corner, trying something, and then realizing that they're not alone, and we are coming together to make this a success. So don't you worry about the lack of engagement and commitment and courage of Cameroonians. Actually, you are stronger than you think.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Can you please find out from Barrister Michèle Ndoki, how can someone based in Kumba volunteer in her election process?
Yes.
My second question is to find out if Barrister Michèle Ndoki is still a member of Camto's MRC
I'm
movement.
Not.
Okay, you've gotten the answer. She's no longer a militant of the CRM. She left the party. That was in 2023. So you got the answer there. And certainly I'll be receiving somebody very shortly. You have some last words for those who are watching us this evening.
Thank you so much for your encouragement, especially those who sent a message. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the viewers. We're counting on you, and 2025 is going to be an extraordinary year, a year to remember in the history of this country. Let's make sure each and every one of us takes a significant part in this extraordinary year.
Somebody is asking me why almost everybody is focusing on the north. You started in the north also. Northern regions.
I would not say it's a focus. I think we think about the north because, first of all, this is the biggest part of the voting population. If you think about far north, for example, out of 28,000 roughly, no, 28, sorry, out of 28,000 roughly polling station in June 2024, Far North only had more than 4,300. So it's a very big number. it's the furthest part of the country when you're coming from Yaoundé and Douala. So I think it makes sense to start with them and then come closer as the time goes. That's the only reason, I believe.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu and Madam Michèle Ndoki. Please, I thank Madam Ndoki very much, and I have a question for her. I was discussing with a teacher in the South region, and she was bothered about the country's change because being a teacher at the South and East region, you are only to vote CPDM, and when you raise up the issues, the bounce on you. How do we solve this problem? Nsangu is writing from Yaoundé. The ballot box is private.
Yes,
it's when
it's but yes, but we cannot deny the fact that there's this drift in the region, that there's no place for any other party because it's supposed to be one person's territory. Listen, I received several messages on Messenger, on Facebook, telling me you were invited in Ibolova and we wanted to be a nation builder and set up and that's how we got a representative in the South region. So I believe there's nothing like it's impossible there. It's just our own fears that we need to get rid of, to tame, if I can say it that way.
Okay, we need to tame our fears. Sir, I'm interested in your program. May God bless you, Mr. Liu, and more blessings to Barrister Michèle. I am asking Barrister whether she's prepared to contest for elections. And Mr. Ajang Thomas, okay, you're writing from Camp 7 in Tico. She's not going for this election. She says that she's focused on a project. Thank you very much, Barrister. I don't know.
That was a good time.
I don't know whether you're going or you're waiting for me.
Problem.
Okay. We're going to take a short break to continue after. Welcome back. You're watching Prime on My Media Prime TV. We were having a great discussion with Barrister Michèle Ndoki, who is into a very lofty project educating and mobilizing Cameroonians to be part of the observation process of this year's elections so that we can tell our own stories and not tell the stories of others. We don't do hearsay. So if you're interested, just indicate, and at the end of the program, I will share with you Barrister Michèle Ndoki's number so that you can join in the process to monitor and be part of the elections process. We have just been joined once again, like it has been a tradition this week, by the financial evangelist who is with me in the studio. Is going to once again remind us of an important rendezvous that is taking place in Bauer, Southwest Regional Capital, on Sunday 2:30 p.m. to be precise, where he's going to teach you and I what it takes to engage in import and export of foodstuff, especially from China, but also Dubai, as well as other Asian countries. Good evening, Mr. Simon. Glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Liu, and good evening to all those watching Prime Art today. It's a pleasure to be here again.
And you are dying to see a Cameroonians master the art of importing and exporting, especially to China.
Yes, because it's a domain that is helping a lot of people. The Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. We have a lot of people out there who are suffering. They are poor, not really because they have to be poor or because they have to be at the level that they are. It's simply because they lack access to an information that could transform their lives. They don't have access to an information that could actually help them become the best version of themselves. A lot of people out there are actually stuck in business. You have somebody with 5 million, 10 million, 1 million, 50,000, 100,000, even 20,000, but yet they don't know what to do with it because everything has become expensive in our country. A lot of businessmen and women, they face what we call the inflation in our country every day, because as time passes, things are becoming more and more expensive, and it's affecting the lambda Cameroonian or the normal Cameroonian who wants to venture into business. For example, I receive a lot of people tell me they have 1 million francs CFA. In fact, they are doing a business. They have their capital is around 2 million francs CFA, but when they check their profit margin, they are not really they are not seeing something interesting, because they are buying expensive and trying to sell expensive. So this is something that is disturbing a lot of people. And also the aspect of sales, which a lot of people is disturbing them. Like I always say on this program, it is not the best product that sells in the market, it is the best known product. So if you focus only on getting your stock of product, you focus only on buying your goods to keep in the house, you are going to keep being at the same level, you are going to keep being poor, because that is not the most important thing in business. The most important thing is investing in your marketing, having the knowledge about marketing. How can you do to actually sell out your product? And this is what we are going to be showing people, how to use the digital marketing tools to make money or to sell your products, because what used to work in the days of our fathers is not the same thing that works nowadays. For example, when we were growing up, there was no Facebook, there was no TikTok, there was no WhatsApp. We never knew all of these things, but as time is passing, these things are actually imposing themselves. So this is something which everybody actually needs to venture into. So we are going to be showing you step by step how can you have access to over 6 million factories in China, because China happens to be the world's cheapest country right now. How can you import directly from the main manufacturers in China and actually bring it in your country? Even if you are watching this, you are not in Cameroon, it is possible for you to actually import directly from China to your country. So we are going to be teaching you all of this step by step. Now, there are a lot of people who really wonder if what we are saying is real. Maybe if you had time to pass at our office, you are going to realize that yes, what we are saying is more than real, is more than a reality. Because, for example, imagine the product that you are buying in Douala, maybe Nbopi or whatever market. Maybe you are buying at 8,000 francs CFA to resell at 12,000 or 10,000. What if they tell you that that same thing in China you can get for less than 8,000 francs CFA and import in your country very cheap? And even we teach you how to pay just transportation without paying custom. We put you in partnership with companies who will pay the custom, you pay transportation. That means we put you in partnership with freight agents. The freight agents clear the custom duties, and then they charge you per kilogram or per volume of the product that you are importing, and at the end of the day it becomes cheaper for you. We are going to be teaching you all of these things step by step, how you can actually start up your business. And I need to precise that you don't need 10 million, you don't need 20 million, 50 million to get started. No, I started with 57,000 francs CFA, but the first ever product I imported with 57,000 helped me generate over 1 million francs CFA in profit, because I had access to a product that they were selling in China for 620 francs, and I realized that that same product in Cameroon was sold for 25,000 francs CFA. Now I bought 50 pieces, 50 times 20,000, that's a million. But how much did I spend shipping plus buying? It was 57,000. You also can get started. You are watching me, you have huge capital, you have money kept in the credit union, you have money kept in the bank, you don't know what to do with it. You can venture into business. And I'm not saying you come and give me your money to invest in it. No, I'm saying that I teach you how to start up your own business yourself and actually generate profits that you've never ever thought that it could be possible in business.
Yeah, but how easy is it to get to the producers themselves, because most persons whom I know are doing buying and selling are buying from other persons who are into some form of a networking, where you purchase and then you are given a code, and then others are buying through you, and once are buying through you, it generates an extra income for them.
That's network marketing, Mr. Liu, but we're not talking about network marketing here. We are talking about having direct access. Now, when you ask about how easy it is, I'll say that it is only easy when you have access to the right information, and it is very difficult and very hectic if you don't have access to the information. Like the countless number of people I know that they got scammed because they were trying to do it themselves without investing in their knowledge. So this is not about maybe buying from a company where they are going to give you a code, and then with that code, if somebody buys from you using your code, you make money. No, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about starting up your own business yourself, which you import, and you make a lot of profit yourself. There is nothing there as code or buying from somebody after you refer another person. After you do this, there's no referral, there's no referral system, there is nothing. It is all about you building up your business, having access to the main manufacturers in China, which you can customize your product into your brand. You can actually start up your own company. You can, in fact, you can do anything that you are thinking of. And recently, China actually released something, zero tariff for all Africans doing business with China. So it is an advantage again for all Africans to do business with China, because they will not be paying any tariff. That means imagine you're doing an international trade and you're not paying any tariff, you're not paying any tax. It's really crazy. So it's an advantage for all young people, all people out there who are actually watching us, Mr. Liu.
Okay. But is it really easy to get to the producers themselves?
Well, like I said, it is easy. For me, it is easy because I have the knowledge. For them, it may not be easy because they don't have the knowledge. It is just an information.
When you get to the producers,
yes,
can you buy small quantities, or
just
you must
today,
buy in bulk?
Just today, my driver is here. I sent him to go and get some goods at my agent. Just today, he went and got some goods that I bought in China for 6,444 francs. Let me be precise at the amount.
How can you help me buy something from China?
I can help you even this week if you want.
Next week?
Yes.
I'll come and try.
I'm not having any problem. I think there are some people who are watching me who have been my students, because we have more than 2,000 students already. And there are people who are watching me who have been my students, and if they have tried what I'm training,
so you are going to train me. I will know the producers of the things that I want.
Exactly.
I know how to contact them.
Exactly.
And I send money to them, and they ship.
And you send even through mobile money. That means as you are discussing with them, you are paying directly through Momo.
Yes, but how are you very sure not to be scammed?
All right, now the only way you can be sure not to be scammed is using the strategies which I cannot disclose here, because that one is for the VIP students. So we are going to show you all the strategies that you can use so that you should not be scammed. There is somebody, for example, who came to our office in Bamenda, because we have a branch at C Junction Express Union Building, Bamenda. This guy came to our office, and then we're talking about import from China. We're talking about buying things directly from the main manufacturer, and then he went back home thinking that what we're saying, we're just joking, and he went and tried it himself, and that's how they scammed him. All right, Mr. Leo, this is what I got today that came in. If you look at this, you're going to see I paid $11. If you look, I just want to show it here, $11. That's a product. Even now, it's inside my car.
That you buy one product for $11?
Yes, you can. No, not one. I bought 6 products, and they even sent me 1 sample for free. So you can buy small quantity. There are times I buy 1 shoe, it comes directly to me. There are times that I see a product. For example, before I start up a brand, I tell the manufacturer to send me 1 or 2. I test it, and then I see that it works. This product I sent to you is a product that it's a brand that I want to start, but I want to actually test it myself and see that it works. When it works now, I can now venture into it fully. If it is a product that I want to use, I can buy one and then I use it. So it is not, let's remove the misconception that you need too much money to get started. No, with small capital, you can get started and grow your business.
Now, if you're buying from China, how soon do you get what you buy?
All right. From? Now, when you're buying from China, there are two ways of getting your product in Cameroon. We have the air shipment and the sea shipment. When you're buying through air, there are two ways again inside the air shipment. We have the normal shipment and the express shipment. When you buy through normal shipment, it's going to take you between 7 to 21 days. That means maximum 3 weeks you're going to arrive. Now, when you buy through air, yes. Now, when you buy through the express method, the product I told you that I sent my driver to receive today, it took 2 days to arrive here. So I would have even collected it after 24 hours. It's just because yesterday I was not available in town. So when you take through express, sometimes it will take between 24 hours to 5, that means between 1 to 5 working days you receive it if it is through express. Now, how do they calculate your shipment through air? They calculate in respect to the weight of your product. For example, if your product maybe is 1 kilogram, they can tell you that 1 kilogram is 7,000 or 7,500, and then you pay. Now, through sea, they calculate the volume or the cubic meters, what we call the CBM. Now, they calculate the CBM of your, because they calculate the space that your product, for example, what space does this laptop or this MacBook occupy inside the ship? That's what they are interested in, and then they bill you now according to the space or the volume. So through sea, it is very, very cheap. Now, it takes between 40 to 60 days to come through sea. That means when you buy through sea, you should wait 2 months, your product arrives. That means if somebody was buying actually from China, since that this year started, he would have done about 3 shipments already, if we calculate to 2 months. So some people will see it as if it's too much, but actually we are already on the 7th month. That is already gone. That means if you started this year, you must have received product at least 3 times from China. So C takes 45 or 40 to 60 days maximum, and you receive, and it's very, very cheap.
Does the same obtain for Turkey and Dubai?
Yes, through Turkey is the same thing. It comes through air and sea. Dubai also, but Dubai is the fastest, because Dubai, their air, as you buy today, tomorrow you have received. If it delays, it's 48 hours. If it delays for Dubai, but it's China now that, China is very far. Yeah, so it's China that can normal can take maybe 7 days, sometimes 15 days. If it extends, it can go up to 21 days.
So on Sunday, you're expecting people from across the southwest region, especially those around Bauer, to be in Bauer.
Yes, on Sunday we decided to organize a mega conference where we're going to be explaining all of these things, and during this conference we are going to, in fact, what I'm saying here is just a tip of the iceberg. We are going to go deeper during the conference. Trust me, there are secrets that if they reveal to you, you feel as though you've been wasting 20 years of your life not doing business. You see that you've been doing business, but you've not been in business. So on Sunday at 2:30 p.m., we are going to be at Mountain Hotel Bauer, where you are going to be getting all of these things. Now, this conference is not for free. This conference is 10,000 francs CFA to attend. But like I said, we are yesterday I gave the opportunity to the first 10 people. Today I'm giving the opportunity to 5 people. The first 5 people who send us interested on WhatsApp, SMS, or you call the 2 numbers that you're seeing on your screen, you are going to have free access to this conference. I'm going to call the number 671 18 671 185549, 671 185549, or 676 474 8911. The number you are seeing on your screen, or you can search my Facebook page, Financial Evangelist. Send interested there right now, And if you're among the first 10 people, you are going to receive free, the first 5 people, you are going to receive free access for this conference. Now, I'm going to precise that we are going to be helping some few people do their order. So wherever you're coming from, is it from Kumba, Muyuka, Tiko, Mutengene, because people will be gathering from all over the Southwest region and even the Littoral region for this program. Some people will be coming from Bamenda and Yaoundé and other places like Bafoussam. Wherever you are, you're watching us this Sunday, trust me, if you come to Boya, I can guarantee you at 100% that you will never regret why you actually traveled from wherever town you are to attend the program.
Okay, so for those who are interested, please just write interested to that number.
Yeah.
And I know many persons may think that it is a scam or it's network marketing. How do you assure? What are those things that should make them know that this is legit?
If the person comes and is network marketing, you should feel free to contact you, Mr. Leo, and tell you that that thing was network marketing. I am sure of what I'm saying. I've been doing it for long. I've been a network marketer. For some of you who are following me who know me before, I've been a network marketer. And in fact, I was even a top earner in my network marketing company in Cameroon. But I realized that the product that they were selling to us at 2,700, I realized that in China it was sold for 134 francs. And we were selling one toothpaste for 2,700. They pay us 130 francs. Now, imagine we sell one toothpaste for 2,700. They sell to us at 2,700. We resell at 3,500. So the profit we make from the 2,700 is 700, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's either 700 or 800, something like that. Now, the company itself pay us 130 francs. Now, imagine something they bought for 2,700, we sell for them, they are paying us 130 francs. That's when my eyes...
They buy for how much?
They buy... I saw the price in China for 134 francs. Now, it means that if they are buying in large quantity, they have the opportunity to even buy for 70 francs. But I saw one for 134 francs. That's when I decided to stop it and actually venture into it. I'm not saying that network marketing is a scam or is bad. No, I advise people to do network marketing because it is an industry that will teach you a lot of things. It will teach you public speaking. It will teach you how to sell. In fact, it will build your mindset as an entrepreneur, actually. And that's what actually helped me. But I saw that at some point they were exploiting us for nothing. But that's when I had that urge to actually learn importation from China. I saw it on somebody's Facebook page, which is this guy's in Côte d'Ivoire. He was a former motorboy. That means this guy who do motorboy business. Yes. So he was a motorboy. And then after 3 years of doing e-commerce, that means importing goods from China, he started his own brand. In 3 years, this guy opened 16 different offices and having more than 200 employees.
Okay. This one says, what the financial evangelist is saying is perfect and true. Remy, writing from Campost in Bamenda, please, my advice is to be on the safe side. If you go anywhere and they ask you to give money, please don't give any money.
Yes, so
if you are asked to give money, don't give money. The essence here is to teach you to engage in buying, importing.
Yes. Now I need to precise. Yes, I need to precise that first, it is an institute. We don't train for free. But if you come and then we tell you that give us your money, we'll invest it, that one now is a scam. So you come to learn. It's like you go to ANS Bambili, you go to any school, you pay for your tuition fee, and then they teach you. They got trainers, they are coaches, they are international trainers that they are going to be training you and even give you certification. So it is not for jokers. So when you come on that day, be rest assured, we are not going to tell you anything about investment. We are not going to tell you that come and put 100,000, we'll buy for you in China, we double your money, and then after we pay you 200,000. No, we are going to teach you yourself. You are going to have access to your platform. You are going to have access to your platform where you go through your training step by step, and we even have a physical office in Douala, Bonaberi, where we do our trainings. You can still go through my Facebook page, Financial Evangelist, and check for yourself. You are going to get more information on what we are doing. So it is not about it's not about investment, it's not about Ponzi scheme, it's not about network marketing. No.
So for those who are interested to be part of Sunday's seminar with him, just send interested to the numbers on your screen. You're going to use the message to have access.
Yes, so just send interested to the numbers that you're seeing on your screen, 671-18 5549. If you're among the first 5 people, you receive free access to the conference. 671-18-5549 or 676-74-8911. If you're among the first 5 people to send interested now, WhatsApp, SMS, or you call, you are not going to pay to have access to the conference. And like I said, we'll be helping some few people place their first order on that day. So come prepared even financially, because this may be you, or you may be the person that we are going to select. And I'll give the opportunity again, Mr. Leo, to all those who are disabled or the less privileged people. You are maybe blind people or those on crutches and all the like. I'll be willing or happy to help them again during this conference, give them free training, 100% free, because we did it the last time and I saw the happiness in their face, and I believe that it's still another opportunity to help other people. So this is a special help for those who are listening to us, or you know somebody who is actually disabled, but you think that the person is smart and can learn.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. When is he coming to Bamenda?
We have an office in Bamenda, like I said, at T Junction, Express Union Building, the first floor. You can go there, or you just contact us. We are going to give you the number of the those working in Bamenda. They are going to direct you for the program. I think there's a program in Bamenda on Sunday, this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. or 3 p.m. for those in Bamenda. But if you can come to Bauer, it's fine, because that's in Bauer we are going to have the international conference, which you have the opportunity to meet me one-on-one.
Okay, so take the rendezvous for this Sunday at 2:30 p.m.
Yes.
There, and learn. Just come there, even if you are not interested in engaging in business.
Exactly. Now
it's good to learn. You have been at home for the past 4 or 5 years doing nothing. Why not just go and learn something? Yes.
Just come and learn. And we forgot to mention something. We'll be talking about exportation also, which I know that a lot of people, especially in Kumba, in the Southwest region, they are into agriculture. In Muyuka, they are into agriculture. They don't have access to clients. Come and learn how to have access to international clients. People in Canada, people in the US, people in Britain who are willing to buy those things in dollars and buy even 5 times, 10 times more expensive than the prices that you are selling those things. We don't want to expatiate everything here. Just send interested now through the 2 numbers you're seeing on your screen. Go to my Facebook page, Financial Evangelist, send interested. If you're among the first 5 people, you're definitely going to have free access. And see you this Sunday, 2:30 p.m., Mountain Hotel, Bauer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simon, for coming.
Thank you.
And to all of you for watching, thank you very much. And to those who have produced this edition of the program, we say we are immensely grateful. Tomorrow, we still are going to be having the financial evangelists and other persons to help educate us to get interested in business, because business actually rules the world today. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed.